Thank you for the opportunity to be here. So let's talk about something today that normally no one really thinks about, and that's the moving sector. And the moving sector is like probably for many people the most boring sector in the world. For me, it's one of the most exciting ones. So why? I mean, first of all, let me talk a bit about Movinga and then really in what state of mind the moving sector is today. So what are we doing at Movinga? Movinga is actually a company that tries to touch both sides and really build a global technology platform, hopefully the largest global technology platform that combines customers and moving companies. And we really do that. I mean, many people did this before, but what we really believe in, that the moving industry today is very inefficient because no one uses technology. And that's something that we actually want to overcome with our technology, and we're really hard on actually disrupting that industry. But how does this industry look like? So what is the basic thoughts about the moving industry? I mean, it's a huge market. No one really expects that when they see actually the moving industry. It's a $150 billion market globally just for moving itself. So people who pay moving companies to move stuff from A to B. If you then look into our core markets, France and Germany, you see it's still 12 million that actually people pay for conducting moves. And then you have some other things that are very important, for example, that actually you have a lot of value-added services that also no moving company actually offers today. It's like utility, you need new gas, you need like DSL, you need like new telephone connection, you need like insurance for your new house. So no one is doing that right now. So the market is huge. If you really look at this huge market, you're wondering, why are there in Germany and France 22,000 companies doing that today? And why do you not have a single market leader? So today the situation is you have 22,000 moving companies in Germany and France in 11,000 different locations. So that already shows you how screwed the industry is, because at the end of the day, how can you be efficient in a market that's so fragmented? If you then look at how much average revenue the moving companies are doing, it's less than $500,000, or it's about $500,000 per year. And the biggest moving company in Germany and France, which is Zapf in Germany and Déménager Breton in France, has less than 2% brand awareness of people actually who know the moving industry. And that's pretty scary when you think it's a huge industry. Everyone has to move, but no one really knows the brand. Similar to the market share, the biggest moving company in Germany, Zapf, they do 10 to 15 million revenue, 0.1% market share. So that's really something that shows you how the industry is really kind of a broken vertical where you don't really have a dominant market player. And the most shocking fact is that all these companies together, all this revenue they generate, they're 80% of the capacity they're not using every day. Because most of the time they go half full from one location to the other and go back empty because they are local, so they don't have customers in the other city. If you then really look, you really have a price spread similar to what Nikita just said about Book a Tiger. The price spread between the cheapest offer and the most expensive offer when you ask for a moving quote is sometimes 10 times. So the cheapest one is 200 euros, the most expensive one is 2,000 euros, and you have no idea why there's a difference. So as I said, this vertical is broken. One reason why it's broken is because the industry is broken. So you have actually like a lot of local companies, they are subscale. Not a single moving company can actually afford to have like a website, an online booking platform, online customer acquisition. I mean, name me one moving company that has an SEM team that does Google advertising the whole day. Not a single one. Maybe like the big one, maybe they tried a bit, but we just talked to the industry association, and they're still saying that actually SEM is something that the moving companies are completely avoiding because they still rather put actually ads in the yellow pages. On the other hand, you have the customer. So as you all know, booking a move is a huge hassle. No one really likes to book a move. The next thing is like, if you book a move, you really don't trust the company because you don't know if it's a good company or a bad company. As I said, no brand awareness. You're not really sure, can I trust the company or not? And you're also not sure about the pricing. However, the biggest thing, and that's the thing that we want to disrupt, is not only the customer interface. We don't only want to make it easy for the customer because there are companies who did this before. Anyvan did that, Unpacked did that, MyHammer did that in Germany. So really doing it easy for the customer, it's not really the revolution of the industry. I know it is something that I strongly believe in, that customers don't want to compare moving prices because the product is so complex that they rather get confused if they compare prices. When we ask our customers, it's for them more important to have a fixed price, to have a transparent price, to actually know what they're getting for the money they pay, and that they can trust us. So we strongly believe we need to curate the market. We don't want to compare prices. And that's the reason why we think that's kind of the idea that we bring to the industry, that you can book completely online without comparing prices. But on the other hand, the really big disruption is getting the 80% utilization or not utilization down to something like 10%. If you really see what we are doing, it's really 100% driven by tech. Like, we're really building a product. It's called the Movinga system. We called it Moses. And Moses is really doing nothing else but creating an infrastructure, similar to what Nikita just said about Book a Tiger, where you have the whole deep vertical integration in the moving sector. So it means the moving companies are using your software to actually manage their move, to book their moves, to manage their fleets. And on the other hand, you have the customer side, who is actually like completely easy to book. It's very convenient. And at the end of the day, the whole customer experience that was previously, that you go and that you call a moving company, they come to your house, they actually do a protocol of what furniture you have, and it's like an endless process. We actually kind of, through Moses, will actually revolutionize that process. Because the way how we are doing it basically is, you go to the website, you get a fixed price. If you need, you actually get a telephone call from us, so we help you a bit through the process, and we will trust with you. And then at the end, you have an app where you can actually follow the progress of your move. You see where the moving company is right now. You see a summary of actually what the moving company is actually bringing or what kind of service they're delivering to you. And then on the other hand, and that's the real revolution, is the lower part of that graph, which is more like, what kind of innovation do we bring to the moving industry? And that's really the deep integration that I just mentioned. So, I mean, that's a nice idea and a nice product to have, but how does it really resonate with a customer? I mean, if you really see what happened to Movinga, it was an amazing story until probably June this year. And then we were kind of called the fallen angel, because at the end of the day, we figured out that actually the way how we did the business was not very sustainable. What happened to Movinga was we were growing like almost double-digit every month. We had a lot of problems that turned around with that, so we grew heavily, but on the other hand, one of the biggest learnings that we had was the processes were not in place, the platform was not ready, we were too manual, we didn't do enough with technology, and actually also, quality-wise, we had a huge problem, because when you grow so fastly, you onboard every single moving company that wants to work with you, but the problem at the end of the day, you can't be selective, you can't curate the moving companies anymore, and that's the reason why the quality went down significantly in May and June. So what basically happened was we decided to restructure the business. We decided to close countries. That's exactly what you see here. The huge dip in July, when we really actually like closed 2 countries or 3 countries actually, and then focused on the core countries. And instead of growing again like crazy, we built the technology platform, we built the vision, we built everything that's necessary to scale. And now it's actually the phase, since 2 or 3 months, we're starting scaling again, but now on a much healthier and more profitable way. If you see what we achieved with Movinga today, I mean, we moved over 20,000 people worldwide. We got the German Industry Award because we actually don't consider us like Uber. So Uber is replacing like an existing industry, like Uber wants to replace the taxi drivers. What Movinga is doing is more similar to MyTaxi or Flixbus. We are using the existing infrastructure to actually make this existing infrastructure more digital. And that's the reason why we have a lot of partners who started with us, who had 1 truck and 5 people, and now they have 10 trucks and 50 people. And that's something that made us receiving the German Industry Award. We did a revenue run rate of over 20 million euros, so net revenue, the money that actually lands on our bank account. We have a booking volume of a bit more than 30 million revenue this year, GMV this year. We hired 25 developers, which was very important for us. The distance that we conducted moves with is like 10 times to the moon and back, so we actually did quite a lot of kilometers over the last year. And actually, since July, since we actually redid the strategy, we actually increased our quality significantly, and we really are selective now with the partners that we are working with. And that's the reason why Movinga is now much, much stronger than before the restructuring that we went through. What does it mean for the next year? I mean, the next year is pretty ambitious. I mean, we are almost at the January figures right now, but next year we want to do 60 million revenues, only in Germany and France. We're currently looking at going into other countries again, especially Benelux, Scandinavia, and also the countries that we left with a different approach can be very attractive. But you can definitely imagine it was a very strong ride over the last 6 months, restructuring the business, and now we are just coming to the mindset of actually reconsidering growth, and actually now, as you saw on the last chart, we are regrowing. We actually, with the new Movinga 2.0, as we called it, we also changed our communication. So now it's just much more about trust, about quality. It's much more about actually generating trust to the customer and telling the customer that we are a trustworthy partner. That's the reason why we actually did a huge advertising campaign now in November all over the big German cities. The Germans among you probably know the actor you see on the left side. He played in Gladiator, The Tourist, and Independence Day. It's Ralph Möller. It's the best buddy of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Also Mr. Universe twice. So he's like a very good testimonial because he's trustworthy. More than 80% of the Germans know him. And he's, of course, a strong guy, which is very important in that industry. Yeah, so a lot of stuff behind us, a lot of stuff ahead. But we are very happy now to be in a way where we can actually scale again. And we strongly believe that this business model will really revolutionize the moving industry. And that's the reason why we keep investing into quality and tech. And that's basically what we call Movinga 2.0. And that's actually our strategy going forward. Thank you.